Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bulls. I got a decent amount of requests to do the Bulls, and there's a pretty good reason why. So Chicago is one of those teams that's kind of stuck in what I like to refer to as no man's land. Sure, some of the years they're good enough to be in the playoffs, but nobody ever really thinks they're going to win anything. And with this current core, I think that's really becoming clear, especially this year. And at 30-36 and an 11 seed in the East, that's not where you want to be when you have a 33-year-old DeMar DeRozan and you just gave Zach LaVine a supermax. So we definitely have our work cut out for us today. Let me know any other video ideas you guys do have down below in the comment section. I've been really enjoying these kind of post-deadline rebuilds that we've been doing where they're technically 4 years because we do start today and then do an extra year. And then, of course, if you guys are new around here, could subscribe to the channel. We'd always greatly appreciate it. And yeah, man, that pretty much is it for this. I'll talk about the Bulls a little bit some more before we sim the rest of this first season, but this team is not in the greatest spot in the world. Not in the worst, but they're not in the greatest. Let's get into it. So this is a really interesting roster that Chicago actually has because there definitely is some star talent here. We just don't really think there's enough talent to really get them anywhere. So it's kind of a really weird fine line because they're a decent team. They're not bad enough to be like a bottom two team in the East, but they're just not good enough to do anything. So obviously injuries play a part in that as well. If we go over this roster, starting out with Lonzo Ball, who the report actually came out earlier today. Lonzo is most likely going to have another procedure and going to be out another 6 months at least. And I don't know what is going on, man, but I'm really, really hoping that this doesn't turn into one of those situations where his career ends up being over, man. Lonzo's a super fun player to watch when he's fully healthy and obviously has, you know, really turned some things around since he came to the NBA and everybody was making fun of his shot and everything like that. But who knows what's going to end up happening with Lonzo. I obviously don't play with injuries on, so this is not a realistic rebuild. I want to put that out there right now. But I hope in real life, man, that Lonzo can, you know, hopefully get better and be back to the way he was because I like watching him. Pat Beverly's here. He was one of their post-trade deadline signings. I mean, Pat Beverly ended up getting traded from the Lakers, ended up signing with the Bulls after a buyout. We have Ayo Dosunmu here, who's only 23 years old, was a second-round pick in the 2021 draft. By no means do I consider him a starting option in the long term, but we'll figure it out. Could be a decent backup. We have Zach LaVine. Again, this was this past offseason signed, I believe. I'm like 99% positive it was a supermax with the Bulls. This is a lot of money for Zach LaVine. I like Zach LaVine, don't get me wrong, but this is a shit ton of money to commit to somebody who, I mean, again, don't get me wrong, Zach LaVine's not a bad player, but is he really going to be the second option at 27 years old with this roster that carries you to a finals? I don't really know. We have Alex Caruso here as well, obviously loved by everybody, tremendous defensive piece. Then we have Kobe White here. Again, only 23 years old, is an expiring contract. I'd like to make 407. I didn't know he went that high. I'd like to maybe get him back to this like 2020, 2021 season that he had because I really feel like if we just let him play the minutes, there's a real possibility that that happens. Again, though, this is not what you want to see. This is what we refer to as downward progression or regression. And for somebody who's 23 and was the 7th overall pick for a franchise, you never really want to see that happening. We have DeMar DeRozan, who I like a lot. He's literally the king of the mid-range, even though he might not really like that nickname. But for me, he's 33. We all know how he progresses, or rather regresses in 2K. So we'll figure that out. We have Dalen Terry here, who was the 18th overall pick in last year's draft. Going to see if we can maybe progress him a little bit. We have Patrick Williams, who was another high pick, number 4 overall in 2020. And we're going to see what ends up happening with him. I mean, the progression with some of these guys tends to be really weird. So we'll figure it out. Javonte Green and then Derrick Jones Jr., the high flyer as well. The center spot, I'm not a Nikola Vucevic fan. I'm really not, to be completely honest with you. I don't really think he's as good as 2K makes it seem anyways. I mean, again, I don't want to sit here and just tell you that he's an absolute bum because that's just not true. But for me, as an expiring contract, which he is this offseason, he's going to be asking for who knows how much in this game. I don't know if that's really worth it to me. I really don't. So we're going to figure that out once we go there. Andre Drummond, not a bad backup center option here in 2K, and then I don't really know who this is. So this is the team, obviously, post-trade deadline. Can't make any moves, so let's figure out some sort of rotation. I believe our first-round pick is owned by some other team, but there's some sort of protection on it, so I'll figure that out. But let's go ahead and set this rotation. From what I've been able to find, it appears that the Bulls pick this year is owned by the Magic. That goes back to the Vucevic trade, and it is currently top 4 protected. So unless we have a really bad second half of the season or we get super lucky in the lottery, it really doesn't appear that we're actually going to have our draft pick this year, which is just another reason to really not think we're in a great situation right now. So obviously I don't play with injuries on. I don't want to be a good team this year. I'm not going to play Lonzo Ball. Not that I'm trying to make this a realistic rebuild, but he hasn't played so far. We have some young guys here like Io. I want to progress him as much as possible. We'll figure out what we're going to do with Lonzo come off season time. So Io's actually going to start. I have no reason to start Pat Beverly here. Might work better in real life when you start him, but here in 2K, he's most likely not even going to be on this team next year. So it's Io Dosunmu, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. The bench unit, Beverly will be the sixth man, followed by Andre Drummond, Dalen Terry, Javonte Green, and Alex Caruso. I almost kind of want to play Kobe White these minutes here, but he's also a free agent come this offseason, so I'm going to, again, have to figure out what I want to do with him, but I don't know, man. This is such an interestingly built team, and it's not one that I'm loving right now, but again, 30 and 36, we only have our pick if it's top 4. I'll see you guys in here one. So a pretty tough first year for us has officially come to a close. Joel Embiid is your MVP. He's definitely in my top 3 right now. We're not going to have this conversation right now, but Embiid is definitely making a strong case. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year. Ben Mathurin, 6th man. Embiid also wins Depoy, Şengün Most Improved, and Doc Rivers wins Coach of the Year for the Philadelphia 76ers. So let's get into this offseason because I can finally do some things with this team. Let's take a look at the standings. We ended up finishing going 36 and 46. It's not too great. It's not going to be a top 5 pick. Or 4 pick, excuse me, unless it really turns into something, really special in the lottery for us. So let's look at the numbers. LaVine and DeRozan, obviously, our 2 leading scorers, followed by Nikola Vucevic, Patty Williams, Io Dosunmu, Kobe White, Andre Drummond. Let's take a look at the rest of these guys right here. Again, I don't want to completely upend this roster, but I really do kind of feel like it's the only and kind of the right thing to do right now because this core is not going anywhere. I think we all kind of and hopefully agree on that. It is the Warriors and the 76ers here in the finals. Steph looking to make it 2 in a row for finals MVPs. He does not do that. Joel Embiid makes it to the finals. He wins a regular season MVP. He wins a Defensive Player of the Year. Now he wins a championship and a finals MVP. Congrats, Joel. All right, it is off-season time. I think there's, is that the Blazers pick we might have? Yeah, it's the Blazers pick we do have. Our pick is currently projected to go at number 8 to the Orlando Magic right now. So again, we're going to need some help if we actually want that pick. And it's going to go to the Magic at number 8. And we have, that Blazers pick had protections on it. I think it was actually lottery protected. So we'll have it next year, I think. Staff signing, Billy Donovan. I forgot this man's still head coach of this team. I'm just gonna clear house, man. I'm gonna cut this entire team, basically. Not actually cut, but I'm gonna, obviously move on from the majority of this team. I'd like to have my own head coach while I do it. All right, so do we have 0 first-round picks this year? We do not have any first-round picks this year. We do have the Blazers first next year, but not having our own first is a little bit tough. Zach LaVine's now making $40 million, and we have some pretty tough decisions to make. Our first trade is going to be a really big one, and it's going to come with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're sending them DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso, and they're giving us 23-year-old Darius Garland and a first-round draft pick. We've seen Darius Garland win MVPs in these kind of videos, and for a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who albeit is a great player, he's 33, he's going to start regressing. That's how he works in 2K. And Darius Garland's overalls is going to go through the roof. I have no idea why this is a trade offer, but it is, and Darius Garland is officially a Chicago Bull, which means our point guard spot is set, which in turn means we might be able to move on from Lonzo Ball, because we do kind of need to address the small forward position and even potentially the power forward position. I know Patty Williams is only 21 years old, but he's not 100% safe. This might look like a really weird trade on paper, but it's one I'm going to make. I'm going to send Lonzo over to Utah, and Walker Kessler is going to be coming back here. Walker Kessler has had a really underrated rookie season, in my opinion. I don't think he's getting enough credit for how well he's playing. And he's only making under $3 million, 21 years old, and it also allows us to move on from Nikola Vucevic, who will most likely be a sign-and-trade piece for a new starting small forward. So welcome to the team, Walker Kessler. We're not going to be drafting anybody this year. I wasn't really in the mood to kind of trade into the draft because I don't really want to be necessarily horrible next year. I don't have a real reason to be terrible. Again, I could be, but I just don't know if I'm going to do that. So Kobe White and Io is both going to get the qualifying offers. I'd like to maybe get Kobe White back and potentially play him a little bit. We'll see on that. In terms of our free agents, do I not have money for Vucevic? Oh, it's still, I actually do, but it just lets me, I have to actually use cap. I don't have bird rights on them. Okay, that's interesting. Would I maybe rather just sign like Porzingis? I don't know. This free agency class is brutally bad. It's tough. I don't really want to sign Kyrie. I probably could. I want to sign Kyrie. I just don't know where I'd really play him. That would probably require me to trade Zach LaVine. I could go out and get Kyrie. He obviously is an unbelievable talent, and it's not every day that I sign him. James Harden looks like he's going to be going back to Philly. I don't really want Kyrie right now. How do we think him and Darius Garland would be in a backcourt together? How much does he want? I'd have to clear up money anyways. All right, Kyrie's not happening. I'm just going to bring back Vucevic, and then I'm going to wait here on Javonte Green and Kobe White. We're going to get Vucevic back. Drummond's going to go. I'm good with that. I don't know who this is. Terry Taylor. Did I even play him? I don't even think I played him. He can go. So we're going to get Io back. I do not want to renounce Kobe White. Is the game going to let me bring back Vucevic if I don't renounce Kobe White? Because this game's weird sometimes where it confuses the hell out of me. So let me try to get Vucevic back. Actually, wait a minute. Kobe White, I'll give a qualifying offer to. And then hopefully this works. I don't know if this is going to work. Son of a bitch. This game's so annoying. To the point where, like, I should be able to bring back Vucevic, but I can't. And now I have the money, but I don't. He also has 10 offers. 4 years, $127 million from the Pacers. All right, let me clear up the cap space. It's just so frustrating because I'm here, and I can do it, and I know I can do it, but this game's just pissing me off. I have no idea who this dude is. I think he came over the trade with Walker Kessler, but Kobe White, I guess, is just going to get me a draft pick now because I cannot just let Vucevic walk for nothing. So, first round pick in Davis Bertans, fine by me, and then Bertans I know I can probably get just some sort of pick for. Thank you very much, Sacramento Kings, and hopefully now I have enough money to pay Nikola Vucevic. That is the most it lets me give him. That is definitely more than any other team's giving him, and he's going to want to come back. All right, he's going to come back. Do I have to renounce Io? I do not. Okay, I'm going to trade this man immediately. It's a sign and trade. Let me figure out what I'm going to do. We're making this trade here with the Pelicans. We're sending them Nikola Vucevic. We're sending them Simon Feta Cheese or whatever the hell his name is, and then a 2024 draft pick. It is our own draft pick, but I don't think it's going to be extremely valuable. I think we'll probably be a playoff team, and we're getting Brandon Ingram. We're also acquiring Larry Nance Jr. So I know I get Ingram a decent amount. It's actually been a few videos since I've got him, but I think he was our best option there in terms of players that I could potentially realistically get. So we've changed some things up on this team. We've definitely gotten a bit younger, and I think we've also gotten better, if I'm being honest with you. So what we're going to do now is figure out our new backups in our backcourt. Obviously, Io is going to come back, so he'll probably be our backup point guard. We need to find ourselves a backup shooting guard, and then I kind of want to play Dalen Terry a little bit. I just don't know if he's going to progress. And then Marko Simonovic, I don't really need him. So if I can get a draft pick, I will take it. Preferably a first. Thank you very much, Charlotte. And then now we're going to hopefully get Io back. Do I have bird rights on him? I do not. And then I'm assuming he's just too expensive for me to actually go out and just sign straight up. Oh, he's right there. How much do you want? Yeah, no. I don't have enough money, so it means he's going to go to free agency, but he'll most likely end up accepting his qualifying offer anyways. So we have our point guard. We need to find a backup shooting guard and a backup power forward, and then we're basically all set. Seth Curry on a 2-year deal. It's not bad. Brings some good shooting to this team. Simonovic is a trade exception. And then in terms of power forwards, yeah, these are not the greatest options in the world. I guess Georges Niang is, the youngest of the bunch. And does he have a decent three-point shot? Yeah, he actually has a pretty good three-point shot. I did not know that. All right, welcome to the team. I will wait on Io, but other than that, we're all set with the rotation heading into year two. Yeah, here we are. We drastically changed the look of this team in the offseason, and I think it's going to set us up really well for hopefully some success down the line. Now, we don't actually have a reason to be bad this year because we don't own our first-round pick. We included it in the deal to acquire Brandon Ingram, but I don't necessarily think this team's going to be bad. I think we could be anywhere from maybe a 4 all the way to a 7 seed here in the East. Again, time will tell. I don't really know. It's Darius Garland, Zach LaVine. It's pretty interesting backcourt. We have Brandon Ingram starting at the 3. Patty Williams. I'm not going to sit here and say it's his final chance, and I'm also not going to sit here and say the man needs to average like 15 points a game to really be effective for us. That's not what I really mean when I say I want Patrick Williams to play better. I just need that overall to continue to go up and to hopefully leave some sort of impact on the court. And then followed by Walker Kessler, who hopefully has a really solid second season as he did in his rookie season there in Utah. The bench, Io accepted as qualifying. He's going to be our 6th man, followed by Larry Nance Jr., Georges Niang, Seth Curry, and Dalen Terry hopefully can continue to progress. 2K doesn't even want him playing, but I have faith in the man, and I want him to progress and be my backup small forward. I will see you guys at the end of year 2. We end year 2 with a record of 42-40. So I know I opened this video by saying we're a middle-of-the-pack team, and all I have done so far is continue to lead this team to the middle of the pack. But I think long-term wise, we've made the team better. So not necessarily this year, but we'll get there. And we did have a better record than last year. Ja Morant is your MVP. Scoot Henderson, Rookie of the Year, ended up going number 2 overall to the Spurs. Jordan Poole, 6th man. Nick Claxton, Depoy, Tyler Hero, Most Improved, and Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year. All right, I am feeling better about this team than I was to open this video. We are in the play-in. We'll be taking on Detroit in the first round. But I'm still feeling better about this team because I think we've acquired better talent that's hopefully going to lead us a little bit further again, down the line. Darius Garland, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, all over 20 points a game. That's obviously beautiful. Walker Kessler doing 11 points, 11 boards. Fine by me. Patrick Williams, not too bad. I mean, again, you hope he plays good defense. I mean, he only turns the ball over twice a game. Averages a steal a game. 45.5%. What do you shoot from three? I mean, again, really decent numbers for the shots he's taking. Points, IL, Larry Nance Jr., Niang, Seth Curry, Dalen Terry. Rebounds was led by Kessler, and assists with Darius Garland at nearly 10 a game. So we are in the play-in here. We have Detroit in the first round, or I guess our first out of potentially 2 rounds in the play-in. They added Kyle Kuzma to their team. Other than that, didn't do a ton. Let's see what ends up happening here. We end up winning, so now we got to take on Washington. See who ends up with the 8 seed here in the Eastern Conference. Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Kispert, Denny Avdija, and Kristaps Porzingis. I'm not going to lie. I thought Denny Avdija was going to be an absolute stud in this league. I've been wrong so far, but I don't know why. I just thought he was going to be good. Let's sim this game, and we end up losing in the second round of the play-in. I feel like I always lose the second round of the play-in. It's weird how that happens. Let's sim the playoffs, though. We are obviously not going to be a playoff team this year, and we don't even have our own draft pick. It is going to be an Atlanta Hawks and a Los Angeles Lakers finals. And let's sim this, and it is going to be the Lakers beating the Hawks in 6. LeBron James getting that extra ring at the age of 39. Does he call it a career? He does not call it a career. Wow. Let's hit the lottery. We obviously don't own our first-round draft pick this year. That will be to the Pelicans, but I mean, again, it's only projected 13. It's not great, but I probably would have included it anyways, even if I knew it was going to be number 13 for Brandon Ingram. So we obviously have some work to do with this team still. We're good at head coach. We have Mike Stauffer. Let's head up to the draft. I don't believe we have any. Actually, we might have the Portland pick this year. Do we have that Portland pick? It's number 21. It's obviously not great. It's not terrible. I think we maybe do use that pick. We could maybe try to find ourselves a new backup center, potentially a new backup power forward, maybe even a new backup shooting guard. So there's definitely options there in terms of who we draft at number 21. And yeah, let's just look at some of the options. Sean Stewart out of Duke. Don't know a ton about him. Robert Dillon. Don't really need a point guard. Simon Wilkins. I mean, again, I feel like it's like kind of a crapshoot right now. Dylan Mitchell's here. I feel like I've actually heard decent things about him, or like I've seen him progress decently well, but let me just draft Sean Stewart. He's the highest rated player here on our board. Let's just go out and get the man. He ends up being a 74 overall. Honestly, that could be Niang's overall by the start of next year, so I'll take Sean Stewart. And Patty Williams, IO are both going to go ahead and get their qualifying offers. I'm going to bring them both back. I'm probably going to give Patrick Williams an actual contract. And IO, again, we don't even have the money for him. So I'm going to probably give this team one more year of progression with the current core that we actually have right now. If we end up being mid as hell again, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some really major moves next offseason. But between the young parts of this team, Zach LaVine hopefully continuing to play well, I think we'll probably be a little bit better than we were this past season. So I'm going to give Patrick Williams a real contract, as I mentioned. I'll wait till after the moratorium period. Chris Clemens, you are welcome to leave, and then I'm going to wait on both these guys. So other than that, I don't think there's a ton for us to do. Potentially find ourselves new back. Sean Stewart's a power forward, I believe, correct? So we're going to have to find ourselves potentially new backup shooting guard. Patrick Williams, how much money you want? Holy shit. Wow. All right, that's a lot of money. And the fact that you didn't accept that on day one or two is completely mind-boggling. But $30 million for Patrick Williams is a lot of money. So we are definitely going to need a really good season out of him next year. Larry Nance Jr. will ride it out with him for his final year here. And then I'm going to trade actually Niang and Seth Curry because Seth Curry regresses really hard, and it's really unfortunate for a new backup shooting guard. So Niang and Curry, shooting guard of some sort. Terrence Davis isn't that tall. He's 6'4". Actually could be a decent backup shooting guard for me. Pat Connaughton could be as well. He's a little bit older at 31. Jalen Hood. Actually, Jalen Hood just had a really decent first season over there in Dallas. What is his contract? He has a second-round pick, so he's expiring. It makes me a little nervous just because he's not like 100% a proven player yet. You know what? Let's go ahead. Give me Terrence Davis here. I know he's also an expiring contract, but I think I'd rather take the player who I already know and was honestly a little bit better last year. So we're going to do this deal here with the Sacramento Kings. We're also going to acquire Amir Coffey, who I'm just going to try to get a pick for because I don't really need him. I'm fine with Dalen Terry, and I'll take a draft pick let's take one from the Jazz. It's actually a Minnesota pick. All right, so we're going to get Io back. Zach, we need to find, I have to move. I was like, what did I just do? We have to go ahead and move Terrence Davis to the shooting guard spot. Actually goes down 2 overalls. It's a little bit discouraging, but I'm fine with it. Let me go ahead and get Io back. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. So we really didn't change a ton about this current core, and you might be asking why. After winning 42 games, 42-40 was our record last year, I would tend to blow some things up, make some big trades. But I'm thinking and hoping, rather, that this team can actually be a pretty decent team this year. We'll find out. It's Darius Garland who's up to a 93 overall. That trade for DeMar DeRozan's looking better and better every single day. Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Patrick Williams, and Walker Kessler. Ayo Dosunmu is our sixth man, followed by Larry Nance Jr., Terrence Davis, Dalen Terry, and Sean Stewart. It is an interesting team. I'm hoping we can be better than last year. If not, then we're going to make some major trades this offseason. But I'm feeling good for now, and I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. I'm feeling pretty good about this team. We end up going 56-26 here at the end of year 3, which is obviously a tremendously better record than what we had last year. We're going to be in the playoffs, and we're hoping to make a little bit of a push here come playoff time. Mr. Ja Morant, I believe, did he win MVP last year as well? It's like a mind blur at this point. Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year. Lonzo wins 6-man in Sacramento. Did I trade him to Sacramento? Well, who did I trade him? Oh, no, I traded him to Utah. I don't know how he ended up there. Giannis wins DPOY, Amen Thompson, Most Improved, Quinn Snyder. I believe that's his second straight Coach of the Year. So let's take a look at the standings. We actually ended up as a 2 seed here in the Eastern Conference. Much, much better year than last year. And we're hoping to make, again, as I mentioned, a little bit of a playoff push here. And a pretty good Eastern Conference. Darius Garland, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, all over 20-plus points a game again. Walker Kessler has been tremendous for us. 12 points, 12.5 boards. It's beautiful. Terrence Davis, Patrick Williams, Ayo Dosunmu, Dalen Terry, Sean Stewart. Yeah, for me, I don't know, man. I'm not sitting here and saying Patrick Williams needs to score the basketball a shit ton to be effective, but for $30 million, there's not a lot of players out there making $30 million averaging 9 points a game. So we're going to figure that out come this offseason, especially if we come up short here in the playoffs. And we do not have an easy first-round matchup here. The Celtics did lose Jaylen Brown, but still have Tatum, still have basically the majority of this core. They added Isaac Okoro as well. So this is not a bad team to face in the first round, and it's a pretty tough matchup here, especially as a 2 seed. We are up 3-1 on them right now. We do end up closing them out in 4. Moving on to the 6 seed in New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel quickly, RJ Barrett, Randall, Mitchell Robinson. You got Gafford here. Jonathan Isaac added to their team. I actually tweeted this out. If the majority of the East doesn't change and the Knicks end up as a 5 seed and the Cavs end up as a 4 seed, I genuinely believe that the Knicks and the Cavs could be one of the more interesting first-round matchups. I'm just saying. I tweeted it out the other day. I think this could be a really fun team. We are currently down 2-1. We tied up at 2 games apiece. We go up 3-2. Are we going to win 4 straight? Nope. And we end up losing in the second round. And wow, would you look at that? Funny how things work out. All right. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Donovan Mitchell here in the NBA Finals. And the Thunder, wow, going on to winning a Finals while they're still relatively a young team. All right, so we made it to the Eastern Conference semifinals. That's obviously not great. You know, you hope to be a little bit higher than that. We have that Dallas pick. I'm sure there's some protection on it that I'm just not seeing. Yeah, there is, because they obviously have their 3rd overall pick. Would have been nice if we could have had that. Which means we also have their pick next year, which is nice. It could be a valuable trade asset for us, whatever it ends up may being. And yeah, we're up to the draft. We do not have any first-round picks this year. I don't think anybody we drafted this year is really going to help us going into the final season anyway. So team player options, Kessler and Terry going to both come back. We might be on the verge of a major move. I want to get Ayo back, who somehow is a qualifying offer for the 3rd year in a row. A little bit interesting. I'd love Tatum. We just don't have the money. And Brandon Ingram's also a free agent. I have to make sure I get him back. He has no other offers. So yeah, just right there. And then I'm just going to give... Ayo's not going anywhere. It's the final year. I'll just give him a qualifying offer. All right, we get Ingram back. I'm going to let Larry Nance Jr. go. Oh, shit. Terrence Davis is a free agent as well. Shit. That's not good. Ayo is going to be getting paid around $11.5 million. We re-signed Brandon Ingram to a $200 million plus deal. And yeah, we definitely might be making a trade. We need to make an upgrade somewhere, and Patrick Williams, I'm not going to sit here and say is the weak spot on this team, but out of our starting 5, he's the one, in my opinion anyways, it makes the most sense to trade. And Julius Randle has been absolutely balling out this year for the New York Knicks. He helped the Knicks beat us last year. And yeah, take as many draft picks as you want. I don't care. It's the final season. Julius Randle is officially going to be a Chicago Bull. So he's going to be our new starting power forward. Obviously great to have a guy who's as good as him now here in this starting lineup. And yeah, we just got to figure out the rest of the bench a little bit. So basically just refinding a new backup shooting guard and a backup center. And we're basically done. Austin Reeves, hell yes. Give me Austin Reeves. I like Austin Reeves a lot. And centers, Drew Eubanks. That's not great. I might go sign and trade here. Yeah, let me sound like a Karis LeVert, and then I'm just going to probably include some draft picks in a trade as well. I think this is honestly a championship team. I really do. I really, really do. And then Karis LeVert and 2 first-round picks. Give me some sort of backup center. Just prefer like Jericho Sims. Oh, good God. Not great. Hernan Gomez, he's 31, but he actually had a really good season last year. I might take Billy Hernan Gomez. All right, yeah, Billy Hernan Gomez is going to be my guy. He's 31 years old, but good enough for me for his numbers last year. I'll see you guys at the start of the fourth and final year. We made one major trade this offseason, and that was acquiring Julius Randle from the New York Knicks, and I think we're in a really good spot right now to hopefully go out and win a championship here in our fourth and final season. Now, that might be saying a lot. We haven't even been to an Eastern Conference Finals yet, but I really like the way this team's built. Let's see what ends up happening. It's Darius Garland, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and Walker Kessler. The bench unit, Ayo Dosunmu, Austin Reeves, Billy Hernan Gomez, Sean Stewart, and Dalen Terry. It's all or nothing, man. I'll see you guys at the end of year 4. We end our final season with a record of 60-22. It is by far our best record yet, and we're in our best spot since the beginning of this video, I would say. We go out and win a championship. Victor Wembanyama is your MVP. I love drafting this man just because of how well he progresses. Unfortunately, couldn't get him today. Basala Bayoka, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Rookie of the Year. Anthony Black, 6th man. Giannis wins DPOY. DJ Wagner, Most Improved. Stafford wins the Coach of the Year. So I think that's a pretty good omen heading into a playoffs that, are literally the definition of make or break for the entirety of this video. Let's take a look at the numbers on the year, see who did what. Scoring spread out a little bit, but that's going to happen when you add a guy like Julius Randle, who definitely scores the ball a lot more than Patrick Williams. But all 5 starters are our leading scorers for the first time in this video, followed by Ayo, Sean Stewart, Hernan Gomez, Dalen Terry. Austin Reeves did not score as well as I thought he really would. Rebounds was Kessler, and assists was Darius Garland at almost 11. Impressive. First round here, we have Indiana. Halliburton, Max Lewis, Ben Mathurin, Hendricks, Thomas Bryant. Good team. I just think we're a lot better at this point. So, send the round. We end up winning in 5. Orlando here in round 2. Drafted Amon Thompson. This is another guy I got to draft. This dude's really good. Justin Edwards, Buddy Hield, Ben Caro. Domantas Sabonis is a great addition to that team. It's an interesting addition nonetheless. We are 1-1 with them right now. We go down 2-1. We're 2-2. We go up 3-2. And we close them out in 6. We have the Atlanta Hawks here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, Trae Young going up against Darius Garland as 2 of the better point guards here in the East. You have Jalen Johnson, Jakob Poeltl starting. I think our front court should honestly have a field day with theirs. So we're up 3-0, and don't do this. We're in the NBA Finals. We are taking on, oh shit, my bad, the defending champions in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Brandon Miller at 23 years old is absolutely balling out. He's already an NBA champion, and this team scares the living shit out of me. It really does, I'm not going to lie. Why, when I have Chet Holmgren, he doesn't play this well at all? It's interesting how that works. Let's just sim the finals and see what ends up happening. We end up winning game 1. We lose game 2. Lose game 3. Fucking 2K. Fucking 2K. I'm not going to hop in if I don't have to here. If it's like super close or something, I will. Or I'm not going to do it if we're getting blown out. Or if there's just no chance. Okay. I think we should be safe. All right, cool. We get one there. That's obviously a big momentum game. We're going on the road now, down 3-2. I mean, it's make or break here, literally. I mean, it's over if we don't win this one. I'm nervous. Are we good? We should be good. We're going to a game 7, and again, only really want to hop in if I have to, but I mean, I guess I could maybe get a little bit of gameplay. Are we going to come back after being down 3-1? Oh my God, we're going to do it. I'll get some shots up, why not? We were down 3-1 to the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder, and we are about to go out and win 3 straight games and win a championship here in our final season in Chicago. That obviously feels great. I definitely would have been a little disappointed if we didn't end up winning one in today's video, but nonetheless, we're going to get it done, and I'm pretty happy with the end result of this team. I'm not going to sit here and say that Patrick Williams was the reason that we didn't win a championship last year, but you know, it feels really good to have a guy like Julius Randle, who obviously you can see his impact a little bit more in the stat sheet than you maybe could a guy like Patrick Williams. I'm not saying Patrick Williams is bad. I'm just saying it's just, holy Zach LaVine. Okay. It's just the reality of the situation. And I think Patrick Williams is going to be good, and I think he probably just needed a new start somewhere else. And I'm happy with the moves we made, and I think we did a really good job with this team. So I guess we can shoot the shit about the Bulls for a minute. Obviously, oh, Jesus. None of these moves are going to happen, but the Bulls definitely got to do something this offseason. And again, their only move last offseason was to sign Zach LaVine to that contract, and I'm not blaming them for doing it. I'm just saying that it's a tricky spot to put your franchise in, because I genuinely don't know if Zach LaVine can be a 1 option or a 2 option on a championship team. He definitely can't be a 1. There's like maybe 5 guys in the league that can actually be a number 1 option on a championship team that we've seen that are currently in the league right now. I mean, let's think about it. You have LeBron, you have Giannis, you have Kawhi, you have Steph. Am I really missing anybody right now? I don't really think you're missing anybody right now. I mean, again, in terms of like number one options on a championship team that are still in the league. No, I mean, I'm just going through the years. I mean, it's no, I genuinely think those are like the only four. I mean, you can maybe throw in like, I don't even know who you could put in there. God damn it. That's horrible. Yeah, man, I don't know. So, I mean, it's a tricky spot to be in. I don't think that the DeMar and Zach LaVine combination is going to get them anywhere. If your goal is to stay middle of the pack, maybe bottom end of the Eastern Conference, congrats, you're there. And obviously the Lonzo injury sucks, and it definitely hurts you a lot when you thought he was going to be back. But for me, it might be time to maybe consider your options this offseason in terms of the future of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan on your team. And I know that's a lot easier said than done. Just my take on it. But yeah, man, we're gonna do one final possession here. It looks like the backups have come in. So yeah, let me just pop a step. Oh my, oh, what a way to end it. I'll see you guys with the Finals MVP. I'd like to note that I forgot about Kevin Durant when I was going on that rant. So that's 5 guys: LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, Steph, and Kevin Durant. I'm gonna throw KD in there. I know it was all with the Warriors when he had Steph next to him, but I'm just saying Kevin Durant is that type of player. He's that good of a player that he has proven that he can be a number one option on a championship team. That's not the point, though. We come back from being down 3-1, and we do win a championship here in our final year. Darius Garland, I'm very, very happy I made that trade to open this video. Does win a Finals MVP. So that's the final squad. It's a good team. It's definitely not my best team, but we made a hell of a squad nonetheless. We still got a championship. Of course, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. And yeah, if you guys want to let me know about what you think about my takes about the Bulls, you're more than welcome to let me know those down below in the comment section as well. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.